Welcome back to camp. Had a nice chilly morning. Felt good to have the wood stove going in the tent. There's no bugs right now because how chilly it got, down in the 40s last night. And as you can see, the project for today is to slab out this maple. And that was my first board. And it actually made a really good cut. I sharpened the saw well, but it's cutting pretty slow and it's pretty powdery sawdust, so I'm going to check the depth of the rakes. I might have to take those down a little bit. It's not going to be fast, it's just what it is. This is sort of the bush method for milling lumber with this chainsaw mill. It's not very precise, but it gets the job done and it will work for my intents and purposes. And I just wanted to get this slabbed out, get it stacked up, and get this area trimmed up. It's looking kind of shaggy and I was kind of getting sick of walking around these logs all the time. Plus I can use these for the future projects. Well, I got the first log all cut up. There's some nice wood. I kind of worked out all the kinks. I think I started with this one for that reason. There's some rough spots when the log's wider than my bar is, then I have to make a pass on both sides to make a complete cut, and that got a little funky but it will all plane out and sand out, so you know, it's rough stuff. It's supposed to be, but it's pretty nice. And once I started getting it into slabs, I noticed the bark was loosening right up and it was peeling off, so it looks really good. That edge where the bark has been peeled off. I'm running out of gas with the chainsaw. It's really the wood's still wet, has a lot of sap in it, and it's just maple. So, and then the bar gets hot. So it's like coating my chain and bar in basically maple syrup, and it's hardwood, so it's a tough cut to make anyway. So it's really using a lot of gas, and it's really hard to push it through. But I like the results I'm getting, and it needs to be done. I'm gonna get the other two, probably not today because I'll need to get gas and I won't have much time. well, day 2 on this project, and I made the first cut on this log, and the cut side was up. I rolled it, and then I sat down on it, and then that made me think this would make a nice bench if I moved it over near the fire. So I've been debating whether I try to flatten out this side and then roll it, position it next to the fire area there and use it that way. I could always mill it into slabs in the future. It would be kind of nice for that. So I'm just kind of debating that. And that big log, I am going to mill that into slabs, because that's going to make nice wide slabs that I think I will be able to use in the cabin eventually. And what I discovered in this process, kind of indirectly, is that pounding the log, it loosens up the bark, so then it peels off much easier than the way I was doing it before. So I'm gonna get the maul and use the maul, the flat side of it, to pound that. The vibration or whatever just loosens it up, and the bark flies right off after that. So I'm gonna use it for that. In the meantime, now that this is all, it's wet and pretty slippery, so now I can't really roll it back over. I don't have a PV, just making do with the tools I got. This thing is like a greased pig, but I got it with some ingenuity, and I got the flat side up, which is the way I need it to make another cut. And the max that I can go with my Alaskan mill here is 14 inches, which will be just enough to flatten the bottom of this, and then I'll end up with a 14-inch high bench. A little low for bench height, but for next to the fire, I think it'll be awesome. So I'm gonna do that, try to roll it into place, get it evened out, leveled out and stuff. And like I said, in the future I can mill it into slabs or whatever else that I need it to be. Burning all that bark, and it's cooking off that sap, and it smells like maple syrup. It's really good. Reviewing the time lapses, they make this look really easy because it's just a few seconds, but it takes quite a while, and it's actually very difficult to get the saw to make a cut through this. And it's getting hot. We just had breakfast and we went in the river. Definitely going to be doing that again, but I'm just trying to get this knocked out so I can get this area all cleaned up, and we'll get there. Just keep cranking. water. Discovered a screw and a nail. Glad I didn't hit those with the chain. So things haven't been going so well with the big log. Making the cuts on both sides, it's getting pretty sloppy, and it's just asking a lot of this saw and mill. And then I hit some nails and screws, and that dulled the chain. So I sharpened it, kept going, hit something else that it wouldn't even cut through. It's in that piece there. It might even be a bolt, I don't know. So that destroyed the chain. And besides that, there's a fracture through this log, and the boards that I was getting were splitting at that fracture anyway, so it's not really worth trying to slab it out. So I put the crosscut chain on, cut out the chunk that had all the metal nails and screws and whatever else in there, and I may finish milling this piece here, but it's a pretty short section now, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. At the very least, it's really fancy firewood, which is fine, but now everything is just strewn about here, so I got to get this clean up, get everything organized. If I can get it done in a reasonable time, and I still have the energy, we're gonna go fishing. If not, we'll just take it easy and rest and go fishing tomorrow, but it's time to get everything cleaned up. Well, I'm all worn out, so that's it for work today. We're gonna go to the river, but let me show you what we've got done around here. This log, like I said, I milled it flat on both sides and positioned it here for a bench. Works pretty good. I might mill it later on, but for now, it's not bad. I think it's 14 inches is what it ended up being for height, so it's pretty comfortable. And oh yeah, so on the big section, this is what I hit. Just a massive spike that was in here, and that killed my chain. I don't know if I'll be able to recover it from that. It will take a really intense sharpening, but we've got the first log milled into actually what turned out to be the best lumber, nice lumber, enough to make at least a nice rustic picnic table out of that. The second one became this seat bench here at the fire area, and you know, the last log, some firewood, and you know, maybe some smaller slabs, but that was a lot of work. Still not done. I have a lot of things to clean up, but that was the main milestone to reach, and it's looking better. It's easier to move around here. I got all of the windows pulled out of the cabin. It's just totally empty shell. It's about as far as I can go before I just tear it down. Tent's working out great. Actually, Gracie's in there. I've got these lights, and they run off of solar. I put it over there because it charges better, but these are solar lights. They turn on automatically when the solar panel is hooked up to them when it gets dark, and they work really nice. We got Gracie staying out of the bugs. sort of just our setup here. I got a new memory foam mattress topper for the cot, so that's working really well. The wood stove, someone gave me the idea of getting a door gasket, and because it was like a rocket stove, and this helped make it more efficient and be able to control the air draw better, but I messed this all up, so I got to redo it. But I don't think I'm going to need the wood stove again for a while with these hot temperatures. I got a new grill, just something I needed to cook with, and this one, it folds down and I could throw it right in the back of the truck so I can take it home with me and use it there when I go home to edit videos and stuff. So that's kind of why I went with this model. And then I need to get, it will replace this grate here with an insert that sits down low on top of the burners for boiling water. So when I have that, then it will be easier to make coffee and stuff like that. And since I got the grill, then I was able to free up some space on the table by taking off the old Coleman stove. This is the solar panel battery for those lights. Like I was telling you, it just has a clamp, has some different mounts, but the clamp, I can put it here, charge that throughout the day, and then I go and connect it to the lights in the evening. And then the panels, I'm starting to build out this system. It's just wired from one panel, and I built this little powerhouse deal, I'm calling it, off the side of the outhouse here. And so I'll have, this is just kind of the power station. So I got the Jackery, and that's what I'm charging off of one panel, and then I got my chargers for the tools. But this is a charge controller, and I have an inverter and stuff, so you know, the idea is to just get like a 12-volt system, charge controller. I'll need a battery, inverter for AC power, and I got to figure out some sort of refrigeration, because right now I'm just using the cooler, and which is okay, but for long term and stuff, I'm gonna need something else. This has kind of been the collection point for scrap lumber and things, but this is kind of what I ended up with for lumber from that first log. I think it's pretty good. It'll work. Just getting systems in place and getting everything dialed in, and a lot of this is temporary. Like this whole outhouse deal, that's all temporary. You know, I'm going to build a brand new one down the road after I get the cabin built. You know, this is usable for now, and the powerhouse, or the power station, the battery banks and everything, is going to be inside like a utility type room in the cabin. Just easier to keep them warm and everything. Gracie has that figured out pretty well. It's a revolving door. I leave just the bottom corner unzipped for her. She can go in and out, and it keeps out the majority of the bugs. This tent's working out great. It's been just really awesome, especially with the chilly nights when I can fire up the wood stove. But just having the bug-free space where I can lay on the floor and stretch and stuff, which I've been doing a lot of that to help with my back. And we're just getting there. Like I said, I'm working on the permit thing still. It's taking a long time, and it's just been a struggle, but we'll get there. And I just want to have fun too. I don't want to just work all the time. This stuff just wears me out, and it's enjoyable work in a way, but I also want to go fish and explore and hike and just all sorts of things. So but it's hard for me to do that when I see all these projects that need to get done, and I know I'm running out of time because when the fall comes, I have other priorities, and so I can't be doing a lot of this. But gonna take an easy evening, go to the river like I said, make some dinner. I'm gonna cook on the fire, and tomorrow we're gonna take it easy and we're gonna do some fishing.
That's cooked perfectly.
That's a nice trout. That is a nice trout. There was another one. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. That's a keeper. Wow, that's a nice fish. Beauty. Ooh, there he was. Oh no, no. Oh no. Oh. Easy. Easy, I'll get you back. Hey, a salmon. Come on. That's a salmon. Nice trout. Nice. Oh, hey, Gracie girl. You staying cool? You staying cool? Bug free? Got some trout, Grace.
Gracie, come here. Come here. Gracie, come here.